everybody and welcome to my new video here on YouTube, and today I'm going to answer some questions that you guys have been making me during the last 2 months through Instagram and also on YouTube. So the first question that I got was, what is my favorite Danish food? So to start with, I don't particularly eat meat for 3 years now, so I've never tried the Danish dishes that have meat. However, I've tried the sausages and the street food trucks that you have around Copenhagen, and one of the things that I love the most are the hot dogs. Of course, I don't eat regular sausages made of meat, I eat the vegetarian ones, but they are definitely amazing. And my favorite spot is a green truck that you can find nearby the Randon Tower, and the hot dogs are amazing. You can also find other types of hot dogs. You don't need to eat the vegetarian one because they have different kinds of sausages. So if you are in Copenhagen, you should definitely go there and try because they are amazing. Also, there are other 3 things that I consider very good here in Denmark in terms of food and maybe sausage and also sodas. One is faxikondi, which is a drink that you can only find here in Denmark, I assume, because it's Danish, and it's amazing. It's a combination between a 7-Up or a Sprite. It has a little bit of lemon flavor, which makes it amazing. And also another thing is a sauce that is like a mayo, but it's way different than a mayo. It's called himmelil, and that sauce, it's kind of a mix with a mayo with some pickles and a little bit of curry, I could imagine, because the taste is quite unique. It combines very well with the hot dogs. The third thing is also the fish cakes that I've talked about those on another video about Danish lifestyle, and the fish cakes are also very good, and it's the fish version of the meatballs. So it's also one of the things that I like to eat here. So in the meantime, my friend here, my decoration, decided to give up and leave me alone here. So yeah, we have to proceed without it. So another question that you guys have been asking me is, how is Denmark handling the COVID-19 situation, and if it's possible to travel to Denmark or not. So Denmark has been handling the COVID situation quite well. We have some restrictions. Of course, we have to use masks in restaurants, cafes, shops and supermarkets, but it was only now with this second wave the numbers increased, and because of that we started to use masks in public spaces. We can only hang out with 10 people besides our work and school, so that's one of the restrictions they have here at the moment. And regarding to travel to Denmark, I'm not sure about the situation, but I think if you work here and if you have a CPR number, which is a number that you have when you either study, work or live here, you can get into Denmark, of course. But if you don't have that number, you have to have a specific reason to get in the country. So another question that I got was if I could give some tips for someone that wants to move to Denmark. So if you are thinking in moving to Denmark, the first thing I think you should do is watching my video about Danish lifestyle, so you can have an overall perspective how life works here in Denmark. However, there are some tips that I can give you besides that video. I think you should come with more or less a plan. So if you are thinking in coming here to study, you should consider that Denmark is quite expensive overall. So the rents are also quite expensive, so you should have some extra money to spend on it. And also the food and supermarkets are quite expensive, so you should have a plan B in case you don't find a job. If you're coming here to work, right now with COVID-19, I don't think it's the best option because there is a lack of employment, so it will be quite hard to find a job at the moment. However, if you already have a job, be aware that it could take a while to find a house, because here in Denmark it's quite difficult to find the house that you're looking for, and sometimes it can take a while, and that's basically it. Another question that I have here is, how long did it take for you to feel at home? So actually it took me a while. I'm living here in Denmark since March 2019, and only this August 2020, I started to feel that I was at home. I cannot really explain, but it has been quite hard for me to make friends here in Denmark, and most of the friends that I have, they are Portuguese, so I've been having a bit of difficult to get in the Danish culture. So maybe that's one of the reasons. It's been very hard for me to fit in. Also, I didn't come to Denmark to study, so making friends or making activities with other people, it's harder than if I was at school with people that I had together at school, or making group works and so on. So maybe that's why it took me a while to settle and to feel comfortable here. Another question is, please tell me 3 things you like and 3 things you don't like in Denmark. So if I have to select 3 things I like in Denmark, I would go with, well, I love the system that they have here. You have one number that works for everything, and everything is digital, so you don't have papers going from one side to the other, so it's quite easy if you need to take care of something. Bureaucracy and so on, everything is very easy. So you have one number for health, the same number works for social security, and the same number works for taxes. So that for me it's amazing, because with one number I can do everything, and it's always the same number, and everything you do in Denmark is registered, so you won't need to give your CPR number, and they have access to all your information. Another thing that I really like here is that you can bike everywhere in the city. Wherever you need to go, you just bike. So it's amazing for me, because I love to bike and I don't really drive, even though I have a driver's license. But for me the bike was just the best thing that happened. Another thing that I really like here is that we have health and education for free. I think it's quite important, even though I don't use the education for free because I already studied. But I think it's quite nice. If I had kids here, it would be a nice thing to put my kids into school. And another thing, which is health, it's quite good because it allows me to go to the hospital and to do exams and to see if and to do health checkups and see if everything is okay with me. So in that sense it's quite good, and I really like it and I feel safe. So 3 things that I don't like is definitely the weather. It's something that I totally hate because I like warm and sunny weather, and here, especially in winter, is very dark and it rains a lot, it's super windy. I hate it all. Another thing that I don't like is that it's very hard to make friendship with Danes, and sometimes I would like it to be easier because I would like to be more in contact with the culture, and that is a lack that I have because I don't, even though I work with Danes, for me it's quite hard to make friendship with them. So everything that is beside work, it's quite hard and different from what we have in Portugal, for example. And another thing that I don't like, and it's also related to weather, it's the lack of light during the winter. And it's always cloudy during the winter, so it makes it feel even more dark. And for me, I feel sometimes very depressed and sad, which is weird because it's a feeling or a mood that I've never experienced before. And I'm a very outdoors person. I love to go outside, and during winter here in Denmark I just feel that I should stay at home, and I feel more comfortable staying at home than going out. So another question that you guys made me was what do you do for a living? So I am a graphic designer and I work on an advertising agency here in Copenhagen. So I've studied, I did a bachelor degree in Portugal in design, and then I did a master's degree in communications design, which basically is graphic design, but with more focus on communication and how to produce communication to an event or advertise a product and so on. That's what I do during the week. Another question is, Why did you move to Denmark? So I moved to Denmark because my boyfriend moved to Denmark in November 2018. Well, we have been together for a long time, so I've decided that this was the next step that we should have together. There was me moving to live with him. So I decided in March 2019 to move here to live with him and support him on what he's doing for living. And the last question that I have here is, what is your favorite spot in Copenhagen? So if I have to think about my favorite spot here in Copenhagen, I know it probably is a cliche, but I really like to go for a walk nearby Nyhavn. I think it's quite beautiful, and I love the colors on the buildings. So even though the weather here is super cloudy most of the time, with those colors on the building I could feel a bit more warm, I could say. And also I really enjoy go for a walk in the harbor because I love water, and something that I really miss is the ocean. Every time I can, I like to go for a walk nearby Nyhavn and also nearby the harbor, so I could have more sense of water and coziness, because I really miss being close to the ocean and the waves. Guys, if you like this type of content, give me a subscribe, follow me on Instagram so you can be part of those Q&As that I have been starting to do there. And also don't forget to give me some comments here on the video so I can receive some feedback and improve on my next videos. Thank you guys, bye!